All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Unit 6 Objective 2 review. All right, so the first one I'm going to take care of is realize that from our foldable, in this objective there are three things, and that's if the diameter is perpendicular, these are equal. Okay, if they just intersect, then the product of the lengths are equal. And that's how I did 20x is equal to x plus, or 17 times x plus 3. Here I just set them equal because they were perpendicular. It was a diameter to a chord. Here is the chords and angles. Is if you have the three of them, the one in the middle is equal to half the sum of the two on the outside. So we're going to see a bunch of these. So this was A, B, and C, if you want to think of it that way. All right. So if you look at the first one, this is one of the ones that actually has that they're perpendicular. So what do I know is that these two are equal. So I can say that x is just 26. But now I got to make sure I answer the right question. The question says, what is the length of AB? Okay. So if this is 26 and this is 26, I add those together and I get that AB is 52. Okay. You got to make sure we go back and we answer the question. All right. So this one says we're trying to find the measure of arc EC, which we're going to use over here. So we are looking for this one. If it helps you, hey, highlight it. Outline it. Okay, so that's one we're looking for. Okay, this is one of the ones where we have, if you looked at the third one here, we called it the monkey in the middle. All right, we do use the one in the middle here. So we're going to say the one in the middle, which is 132, is equal to half the sum of the other two, which is x plus 105. Okay, so that's our setup. All right, so I'm going to go solve for this now. I think the easy way we did it was to undo this, so I'm going to double this side, and I get 264 is equal to x plus 105. I'm going to subtract 105 from both sides. And if I subtract 105 to prove to you that I can't, that this is, all right, come on. All right, so it's going to be 264 minus 105 gives me 159. So is that the question we were looking for? Yes, the measure of arc EC is in fact 159. And I want you to think about it, is these have to be getting, if you look at this one, it's getting bigger, this one has to still get big. This is not a central angle. So it is not equal to this. It's not an inscribed angle, so you have to do the monkey in the middle. Okay? All right, so let's look at our third one here. All right, this one, it's not perpendicular, and it has to do with lengths. So if you remember, I'm doing the product, and by the way, the question says find the length of DE. So DE is going to be, I'm going to have to add those together at the end, so if you remember, I'm going to do 9 times 5x minus 7, so it's the product of the lengths is equal to 6 times 6x plus 4. Okay, there's my setup. So if I multiply this out, I get 45x minus 63 is equal to 36x plus 24. Okay? All right, at this point, I'm now going to go subtract the 36x because I got to collect like terms. And I get 9x minus 63 is equal to 24. Okay, I'm going to add the 63 to both sides. And I get 9x is equal to 87. I divide by 9. All right, so if I do 87 divided by 9, I get 9.67. So x is 9.67. Got to round to 2 decimal places, so that rounds the third digit up. All right, so DE, we got to go compute this now, is going to be 5 times the 9.67 minus 7 plus the 9. Remember, it's the whole length, because I got to make sure I'm answering the question. So I'm going to do times 5 minus 7 plus 9 gives me a total of 50.33. Okay, I brought all the decimal places so there was no rounding. I didn't want to introduce an error there. Okay, so I got 50.33. All right, So now let's go over to this one. We're looking for the length of CD again. All right, and if you notice, they're perpendicular to each other. So what does that mean about these two lengths? By the way, I'm looking for CD again, which is the whole thing. All right, so what am I going to do with these two? I'm going to set them equal to each other. Okay, now I got to collect like terms, so I'm going to subtract 6x from both sides. So I get 2x minus 7 is 11. Next step is to solve this. I'm going to add 7, and I get 2x is 18. If I divide by 2, x is 9. Now that's not our answer, because we're looking for the length of CD. Now since these are equal, it doesn't matter which one I plug it into. If I plug in 9 here, 8 times 9 is 72, minus 7 is 65. And just to make sure I got it right, if I do 6 times 9, it's 54. And 54 plus 11 is also 65. Remember, those are not angles, those are lengths. So the length of CD is 130, because I got to add those two together. Okay? All right. We got 2 to go here. So this is another angle one. And this time you're given expressions here. And we're also looking at the end to find AE, which means not only it's not just solving for x's, I'm going to have to plug it back in. Okay? So remember, this is not a central angle, so these are not equal. Okay? It's not an inscribed angle, so I don't double this one. I have to say 115 is equal to half of the sum of these two, and if I add like terms, I believe I get 10x minus 10. Okay? Simplify my work is instead of distributing, I'm going to double this side to undo that. So I get 230 is equal to 10x minus 10. If I add 10 to both sides, I get 240 is 10x. So x is 24, but I'm not done. That's not answering the question. Okay, so now I need to find AE, so it's going to be 6 times 24 minus 20. To make sure I get it right, I believe that's 146, but 6 times 24 is 144, minus 20 is 124. Okay? So this is AE is 124. If I plugged it in to find BC, it'd be 96 plus 10 would that be 106? Okay? All right. So let's go look at our last one. Again, this one has to do with angle measures. So again, it's just like the last one. I was given the one in the middle. I need these 3. If you think about it, there's an hourglass here. Those are the 3 I'm using. All right. So again, I'm going to do 45 is equal to half of the sum of the other two, and I believe I get 4x plus 30. Okay. So now if I double this, I get 90 is equal to 4x plus 30. Subtract the 30, I believe it's 4x is 60. So x is 15. Okay, but I got to make sure I answer the question. I'm trying to find the measure of AB, which is this one. So I got to plug it back in, and 15 plus 45 is 60 degrees. Okay? Hopefully this helped. These were the ones I know we struggle a little bit more with. It's always the angle in the middle is equal to half the sum of the ones on the outside. Okay? I don't subtract them, I add them. All right. Hopefully this helped too. Thank you.